Hi there, welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where I share with you the tools, the techniques, the mindset that all of us want and need to have the life that we want to achieve. Here is where we begin to make the next day the best day of our lives. You know, we've all been in that place where everything seems to be exploding around us, or nothing seems to be going exactly like we planned it. In those moments, finding faith in yourself is the most critical thing. I learned from a good friend who's also a business associate. He said, don't bet on the horse. The horse would be the situation. The horse is the job. The horse is the business. The horse is the business plan. The horse is the thing that you're working on. He said, don't bet on the horse. Bet on the jockey, which is you. That means you can ride any situation out. I believe, I'm a firm believer, that God, whatever you want to call, would never give you more than you can handle. And that's understanding that you may get knocked down, you may have to rest, you may have to sit on the sidelines for a minute, but you don't ever have to stop. You might not run, you might walk, and some days you might crawl, but you still get to move. That you are the recipient of 1,000 second chances. And every time you get to 999, you get to press reset. So how do you have faith in yourself when nothing around you seems to be going right? You recognize that you're bigger than your circumstances, no matter how big your circumstances are. I believe that we judge ourselves because we're not moving at the same momentum that we moved at once before. What if you're not supposed to move at that momentum right now? What if your pace does shift? What if your pace does need to be modified? What if you do have to have more grace with yourself and more compassion with yourself? I believe that there's nothing, and I say nothing with a capital N, there's nothing that has the right to take you out of the game, to take you out of the fight, to take you out of the race. Nothing is that big. Your human spirit is greater than any circumstance that you're in right now. Your human spirit is unbreakable, it's unshakable, and it's unstoppable. Now, do you need a pause sometime? Do you need to sit back and recalculate? Do you need to sit back at moments and catch your breath? Absolutely. But nothing, and I do mean nothing with a capital N, has the power to take you out of the race. That my grandmother used to say, baby, why are you so worried about if you're gonna win? The victory is already yours. You're just playing out the journey. And I believe that to be true. That we have a right, we have the victory. You have the victory already. Whatever it is you say is going to be true. Are you gonna make it through this moment? If you say you are, then you're going to be true. It's gonna be true. If you say you're gonna make it through this circumstance, it's going to be true. And if you say you're not, you're gonna be true. It's gonna be true. And so what story do you want to tell? How you do it? Now that might need to be modified. Who you do it with? That might even change. Your plan might need to be in sand, meaning it needs to be flexible, but your goal to get through it is always in mold. So your plan's in sand, but your goal's in mold. That means the plan might need to be modified, but the goal will never change, and that is you are greater than any circumstance that you might find yourself in. The victory has and will always be yours. Now the journey, you have to decide what that's going to look like. Remember, this show is not a monologue. No, it's not just me talking to you. This show is absolutely a dialogue. This is a conversation between you, I, and some wonderful individuals that are in our tribe. I would love to hear from you. So in what ways can you learn how to have faith in yourself? In what situation? Like, tell me the situation. Like, here's a situation, and I'm literally gonna amp up my faith in myself. Are you willing to live in possibility? Where are you now in that conversation? What does it look like for you to have absolute faith in this circumstance or absolute faith in the outcome? And what outcome do you want to create for yourself? What intention are we setting? Leave me a comment below. I really, really love to hear your comments. Be sure that you subscribe. I want to make sure that you're a part of this family, a part of this tribe, long term, and look out for more amazing content in the future. Janet says, I realize that I've finally fallen madly in love with myself so deeply that I'm willing to fall forward when necessary, and I'm willing to pick myself up, and I'm willing to move ahead. I love that, Janet. Janet, do you know that when you look at not only I'm not afraid to fall, I'm not afraid to fail, because I'm committed to failing forward. And what that means is that I'm willing to look at what are 3 things, 2 or 3 things that I learned, what are 2 or 3 things that I pull from that experience, and then what are 2 things that I could do differently next time. That's called falling forward or failing forward. Now listen, we all have failures, but it's how we fail. I am who I am because of the way I've fallen. Whenever I've fallen, and I gotta tell you now, when I fall at something and I fail at something, it's most likely a 6-figure failure. But all I need to do is make sure I pull 2 to 3 things that I've learned and 2 things that I'll do differently. So Janet, I love the fact that you get that. Now it's called Ready, Set, Go. Natasha, I love this. You said, I've committed to just take more action, even though I feel beaten, I feel bruised, I feel like I've been gut punched. This show right here, Natasha says, inspires me to keep going. Natasha, my sister in the journey, I tell you, some of your best lessons will not come wrapped in a big red bow. They'll come wrapped in sandpaper. They'll come wrapped in thorns. They'll come wrapped in a lesson that might leave you feeling bruised, that might leave you feeling a bit beaten. But let me tell you something, sweetheart. Still like dust, we rise. And when you rise as someone you've never seen before. You are who you are because you've risen from things that you never thought that you had to rise from. And when you rise, you get to run and you get to soar. Listen, we're your tribe right here. This is your home right here. And I am your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And I love you and I believe in you. I'll see you real soon.